Got a lot of problems.
What's happening,
But we've already
y'all?
started that. We're moving the encampments
What's up,
away. But
DC? We used to call you Chocolate City, but now it's Federal City, y'all. What's up?
Black, powerful.
The revolution will not be televised. Talks about a prophesy.
Like power.
Real easy for me to get lost in the game, especially now that they doing that alien nest type script. You dig? DC, Federal City, welcome to the smell with a fed cell. Mother.
Fire! Burn!
Trump drawing lines.
Power.
Hope he's getting federalized. So scared, cap, popping lies. They got the National Guard on combat formations, helping the homeless relocations, evacuations, evictions. Martial law in a police state. Tell the tourists things ain't nice. If they ain't white, they might get stopped by ICE.
Like powerful. Yeah.
We got the curfew for the kids at night. Catching feds ain't right. While the rich get rich and the poor get poor off this big new deal. While they get fat and getting they fill, most kill for a real meal. So the blue gang is loose.
Yeah.
Man.
Say what?
Loose. Those clips sink most ships like a hurricane. DC, Federal City, welcome to the smells of the fed sales, mother. They taking the pictures for the facial recognition, y'all. I stay masked up, don't take no jab at all. 5K for the nanobots, making zombies of us all. Not us, we ain't having it. That making America great again ain't skip. They making America hate again, and that's it. While the dark ops running down on the streets. So you know what it is, man. DC, Federal City, welcome to the smell of the fed cell, mother. Fire! Lightning here. To open up your eyes, my dear. Say what?
Remix.
Keep it DC, Federal City.
Behind the rails, he laying on bed and nails.
The real revolution will not be televised. Talked about a prophesy.
We all want the same thing. We all want a safe city. We want a safe capital. We want to be able to bring our families here. We want to be able to come and enjoy the history that makes this place great. And unfortunately, we are not in that position right now. And Mr. President, I want to thank you for taking the step that we need right now to make criminals understand that they are not going to get away with it anymore. And I'm not going to stand here and go over and over the cases. But what I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. They don't care where they are. They can be in DuPont Circle, but they know that we can't touch them. Why? because the laws are weak. I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old and you have a gun. I convict someone of shooting another person with an illegal gun on a public bus in the chest, intent to kill. I convict him. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Says you should go to college. We need to go after the DC Council and their absurd laws. We need to get rid of this concept of, no cash bail. We need to recognize that the people who matter are the law-abiding citizens. And it starts today. But it's not going to end today, because the president is going to do everything we need to do to make sure that these emboldened criminals understand we see you, we're watching you, and we're going to change the law to catch you. And my final note is this. These kids understand that the jurisdiction is through the state attorney general, Brian Schwab. I did a poster of the young man from Doge who was beaten bloody with a severe concussion, a broken nose. And then I did a poster of what happens to those kids, because I can't arrest them, I can't prosecute them. They go to family court and they get to do yoga and arts and crafts. Enough. It changes today. Thank you, Mr. President. You're welcome.
Great job.
You leave.
Thank you.
This him. What you take with you. Y'all black ass spent all them motherfuckers at the big house to talk about for the last few hours. Seem like white folks.
Actions to deal with the emergency crime conditions we currently face in the District of Columbia. The first of these was an executive order, as President Trump said before, invoking his powers under Section 40 of the Home Rule Act to take federal control of the DC Metropolitan Police Department. Along with that executive order, President Trump signed the statutorily required notification letters to Mayor Bowser and to the relevant House and Senate committee leaders. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize the National Guard to address the conditions we see on our streets here in DC. It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors to utilize their National Guard units if necessary as well. These are
the only fantasy advice that you need customizes to every format, including auction, dynasty, and best ball.
Part of an administration that's finally coming to terms with these issues, sir.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Thank you. So, just to conclude, Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, most beautiful places anywhere in the world. It was years ago. We had one problem that was a pretty big problem. The radical left got out of control and they started trying to rip down statues. And I said, let's go pass a law real fast. We're going to do it real fast, but we were blocked by the Democrats who do not want safety. Nobody gets it. I don't get it. They don't get it because they can't get votes. I don't know how they can win an election with this, but they don't want safety. And I found an old statute, very old, early 1900s, that said if you so much as touch or even think about destroying a statue or a monument in Washington, D.C., you go to jail for 10 years with no probation, no anything. In other words, slightly different than we have today. Today we have cashless bail. There you get jailed 10 years. No curtailed sentence, 10 years. And we took it out. Nobody used it. It was never used because, it was harsh. And you remember they started to rip down the statue of Abraham Lincoln. I said, that's a tough one to rip down. He was pretty good, man. I think he was pretty good. When the ropes started going around Abraham Lincoln to pull him down, Andrew Jackson, others, and they were heading to the Jefferson Memorial, Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to do a big number there. I said, it's time. And I signed that statute immediately. We had it updated. We made it use the same language, all passed by Congress. And I announced it's 10 years in jail, no probation, no anything, 10 years, no curtail sentence if you touch so much as touch a statue in Washington, D.C. And it was an amazing sight, beautiful sight. Everybody just left. The ropes were hanging around Andrew Jackson. There were 2 ropes around Abraham Lincoln. They left the rope, but everybody just left. And that was the last problem we ever had. You know, that was the last problem that we ever had with the statues. They were going wild. And somebody came to me and said, sir, in 1910, I don't want to give you the exact, because you'll say, Donald Trump gave us wrong dates around like early on. You know, if I'm slightly off, it make you sound a little bad. So I won't put myself in that position. I won't put you in that position, because I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. But when I signed that thing, it was like a miracle. Everybody left. They were gone. They were starting to march down. They started the march toward Thomas Jefferson. And I figured he was always going to be safe. But they found something with him, and they found something with Abraham Lincoln. And even in the name George Washington in California, numerous places changed the name of George Washington High School and various other places. They took George Washington's name. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended. And a lot of those people that were woke are now turning out to be the opposite. I won't go so far as to say MAGA. It's a very special category. But they've gotten out of that. But we have people that love this country, and they love this really beautiful capital. It is. I flew over it the other day, and I said, what a beautiful place. But if there's crime all over the streets, when you get there, it doesn't look so beautiful. But we're going to make it beautiful again. We're going to fix it with crime, and we're going to also, as we're doing that, we're going to start doing things that we know how to do, that I know how to do better than anybody, I guess, because of my experience from previous life. But not only are we stopping the crime, we're going to clean up the trash and the graffiti and the grime and the dirt and the broken marble panels and all of the things they've done to hurt this city. And we're going to restore the city back to the gleaming capital that everybody wants it to be. It's going to be something very special. All of these people are really tough. Can I shake your hand, Gaddy, please? You're going to be so important here. You're going to be that guy. I hope I don't have to fire him in 2 weeks because he's too soft. I don't think he's too soft. If I do, I will, though. Is it okay if you're soft, weak, and pathetic, like so many people? I will fire you so fast. You're not going to have to worry about that. No, I think you're going to do a fantastic job. And everybody in this room, they may not express it, but they all want that to happen. You know, they want to be safe, and they have families too. So it's an honor to have such a large group. I've done this for years now, hard to believe. I've never seen this room so packed. In fact, I'm sure it's a violation of every fire code. But we'll let you stay anyway. You're taking a chance. And with that, we'll say, maybe if you could,
Yeah, it's the Black Openum Lion.
if we could,
Black Openum Lion TV for the Saturday night Black Revolutionary Block Party. And let's hear some music. You know, we can't play too much news without the music now. Saturday, August 30th, 2025. Yours truly, the Black Openum Lion TV for the Black Revolutionary block party. Just so y'all know, Russia did have a response to the peace talks. This is Russia's response to the peace talks.
Here he is now. Hi. Just trying to make sense of all this data.
Not that part.
Just get that science.
That's fine. No.
Oh, wow.
Russia attacks Ukraine. Missiles and drones. So that's what Russia thinks about the peace talks, y'all. And this is what Trump thinks about.
And come Monday,
Kamala Harris.
Vice President Kamala Harris will lose her Secret Service protection. President Trump issued a memo to Homeland Security to end her security detail, which had been extended by former President Biden until late July. Now, this change comes just before Harris is set to begin her nationwide book tour.
Well, that's cold-blooded. He knows she's going on a book tour, and he's going to take away Secret Service security something. Man, that's cold-blooded. But I tell you what, while they talking about Chicago, right up the street from D.C. is BMO. And this is BMO. So that might be where they might need some help. Mm-hmm. You want to get more help in the areas where we need it. Send the help around the national monument. Or them statues and buildings don't need help protecting themselves, believe me. So before they do it to us, let's make sure we don't do it to us.
Peace and harmony, the only way to defeat tyranny. Thank God for everything. The enemy, yes, everything. Never, ever, ever. Myself, got your right to demonstrate. Fake news. Bring the love and overcome. Blood money won't make for the show to break. Fake just to keep you here. Fake you don't take your hand pound. Fake first next. Don't you fake shot. Never fake got the brother down. Fake body cash. Aim at the ground. Now the races go away. You boss the woman. She learns to pray today.
30 minutes. Right.
I done took the page when I flip the script. Now don't blink, I'm about to flip. Fake news forever. They ain't never ever told you the truth. Never. Fake news. Fake news. Don't get lost. Fake news forever. You're not the man with the plan. Never told you the truth. Never. One that you don't give a damn. Don't you think to see I see? You're gonna get killed, and it's a possibility. Even though I can say, they let you people know you. Got the time, fake news forever. Now don't look at it. Never told you the truth. Shots fired. It's never ever.
Malcolm X Park. Malcolm X Governor.
Shooter got my hands up. Can't breathe. I can't breathe. Shooter got my hands up. I can't breathe. Can't breathe. Shooter got my hands up. Like Ferguson, sir. You got a right. Just had enough. The Browns to the Dolphins.
We can control our own neighborhoods. We don't need no help. They only come after the fact anyway. Or chasing forward motorcycles for no reason.
Same 4-wheelers and motorcycles be legal in other areas.
Don't shoot, I got my hands up.
Stay on the strong survive. Stand up. Soon as we stand up, they be taking our lives. Killing us and darkness. Stand up. When we will stop. Will we all be fathers? Will we all be fathers? We got to stand up for ourselves. Just like Jimmy Fallon, to make you look to the other side in the wrong direction. I got to stand up, Mr. Silence, for ourselves. Destruction. Meanwhile, others and blind in the law, for ourselves. That nonsense. Instead of the truth, like promising, got to stand up. For ourselves. You preach about a minute. Why do you get everything? Just give out, yeah, to the audience. First of all, like a white. We should go up. Shoot, I got your hands up. Can't breathe, can't breathe. Don't can't breathe, I can't breathe. Don't shoot, I got my hands up. Can't breathe, can't breathe. Can't breathe, can't breathe. Take it over, people. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Can't breathe. We shall overcome. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Shoot, got my hands up. Can't breathe. Can't breathe. Don't shoot, I got my hands up. I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Oh, should have got my hands up. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Can't breathe. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We must overcome. We got overcome. We gonna overcome. Wearing white sheets of a different kind. Showing shows and the show ain't mine. Sir. Don't shoot. I got my hands. Yeah, got to look out. For I said you overcome. Wearing white robes of a different kind. Cause the show ain't yours and the show ain't mine. Coming through with martial law and pickup trucks. The main objective is to mess us up.
What is your opinion of the difference between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore?
Oh man, it's a whole different side. Baltimore is a whole different world.
Because it's like, the thing is they're so close together, but they're so different.
Like the language, slang, everything is different. It's different. The sound of Baltimore people, how they talk is different. All that shit different, it's different. It's not like that, you know, say that their clothes and like how we dress different and all that.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I raised like, yeah. I still fuck with Baltimore though. I still fuck with all the food though, but I was out there a couple times. Years back. I fuck with yeah. Shout out to y'all. Older niggas from us.
Anything, any last words you want to have anything you want to say or stuff there?
I know, you know, and I was a little bit, yeah, live your life though. Don't let these people manipulate your mind.
Keep that change on you.
Real.
And I talk about the hand sanitizer.
Hands in the past, you know,
That thing is real. Yeah, hand sanitizer be
safe.
All right. That's it. Keep
In the road right now, Minnesota down the street.
Okay. What side of DC is this?
It's not okay. Nice movies.
All right, it's right there from DC.
I didn't flinch when you fled. I just took a moment to reflect on which foot to send you to sleep with. I throw both, done with it. Take the gloves off the fist. Hey, nigga like me, you can't intimidate. I slap just be your cellmate. You'll fade away. The sleeping giant is wide awake. Can't take the gloves off this. You're black. Open them lion. TV. Oh yeah. I'll take y'all to a ride to the building, you know. We don't want to hang out in the back alley of the White House too long. They'll call Secret Service on man. Yeah, they're like, man, there's a black revolutionary hanging out back of the building. He's trying to report to the hood everything we doing. And there you go, Martin Luther King Avenue right there. Wait a minute. Yeah, MLK. Coming up on Good Hope Road. Wait a minute. Come on. Oh, Good Hope Road right now. Looks like coming up on W Street. Wait a minute. That's the same liquor store? Yeah, the same liquor store we did a lot of protesting right there. Same street where the people that got shot. And 3 girls that got shot. And we did patrol that neighborhood. So, like I say, if they're going to patrol the neighborhood, patrol it right. Patrol it like we patrolling it. So that way can make a difference. Stop some of the killing. You dig?
Question to ask. So are white people. More white people, by the way. More white people.
Developments this morning on the federal takeover in D.C. Customs and Border Patrol agents are now teaming up with U.S. Park Police to protect national park sites. The Department of Interior Secretary says these officers are being deputized, which basically means they can make arrests. Now, this comes as we have new numbers from the White House on this operation. Since August 7th, officers have made more than 550 arrests. They say of those, 3 are known gang members, including one who is allegedly a member of MS-13. They've also recovered 76 guns and cleared 48 homeless encampments. Right now, the National Guard, MPD, and ICE agents are patrolling the D.C. neighborhoods and all reporting different statistics on how many people have been arrested. 7 News' Carl Willis is breaking down the numbers for us this morning and has a look at some of the pushback on the streets.
The vice president personally thanking federal law enforcement for stepping in to help crack down on crime in the city.
And they got rumors that Trump might be dying. He might not
According to
live
the
long.
police, 527 arrests
And Dan said he was
August 7th.
ready to
Early
be
Wednesday, the
president.
White House
Same thing
reported
would
a
happen to
higher
Trump.
number, saying
Now, why would you say that
551
unless
total
something might
arrests
be getting
have
ready
been
to
made
happen?
in the district in that same time.
Can't tell you exactly what they report or how they report or coordinate their number.
But the feds say any arrest made during the federal enforcement falls under the operation's arrest totals, regardless of which agency makes the arrest.
What people have to understand is that with an additional 500 more officers, you're going to have more arrests. You're going to have more traffic stops and those types of things. So we have to anticipate that because we have an influx of police presence.
A White House official said of the 551 reported arrests, 225 were related to immigration enforcement. They say 3 of those arrested are alleged gang members. As the operation continues, federal officers, including ICE agents, are being met with some vocal opposition in D.C. streets. This scene in Columbia Heights Tuesday, with a crowd chanting at federal officers until they eventually leave. Wednesday, Chief Pamela Smith urging protesters not to go too far.
What we don't want is for community members to interfere and get involved in things that is a police-related matter.
Carl Willis, 7 News.
We've been trying to answer your questions on how the government and local agencies involved are working together. Now we have an example. We told you yesterday morning about troops deployed to these 10 metro stations, including Waterfront. At that stop on Monday, the National Guard helped prevent a dangerous situation from getting worse. 2 guardsmen pictured here on your screen were on patrol when they saw a man take out a knife and threaten another person. They alerted police.
They didn't show none of the Anacostia, Washington, D.C.
Around that area were safe. To do that, we had to partner up and communicate with the law enforcement officers that were nearby, making sure that we had eyes and ears on the situation to keep everyone safe. It is important to note that right now the National Guard is not making arrests. The White House says they may be armed, but their current mission is to be visible to deter crime.
And the impact of federal control isn't just playing out in City Hall. It is also being felt inside restaurants and bars where owners are trying to balance public safety with customer confidence. And our John Gonzalez joins us now live from downtown, where owners are hoping Restaurant Week will finish strong. Good morning, John.
That's absolutely right. Good morning, Melanie. You know, during the first week of this federal surge, restaurant reservations saw a sharp decline. Some restaurant owners telling me record low numbers. Take a look at your screen. Data from Open Table shows year-over-year declines ranging from 20 to 30% on several days. Well, this week, there are some diners are coming back. Monday, during the first day of this restaurant week here in the district, which also includes Maryland and Virginia, reservations surged 29% compared to 2024. Some businesses, well, they say the visible presence of federal agents has kept customers away. One nightclub owner told 7 News he lost more than $15,000 in a single evening. At the same time, the White House administration argues the numbers are being taken out of context. Officials point out that last year's Restaurant Week took place earlier in August, boosting comparisons.
I do think that the presence of federal government, law enforcement officials on some of our busiest corridors might have an impact, but I think it's too early to tell because of these other factors.
In the city, the amount of crime or fear of crime is significant. And, you know, the rhetoric about this extra support in the city, I mean, and these are our military, like they should provide a sense of peace. I would love for us to stop making this political. Support our restaurants.
And on a side note there, Vicky told me that she actually had her car vandalized recently heading to a restaurant here in D.C. Another factor, immigrant workers may be playing a role in all of this. Restaurants say that they are short-staffed. Restaurant and delivery drivers afraid to show up right now. Organizers call this event a lifeline during August when Congress is in recess. Locals and travelers are typically staying away from restaurants in August. They say the toughest test could still lie ahead if this presidential order is extended. Reporting live, John Gonzalez, 7 News.
Thank you, John. And it has now been 2 weeks since the federal crime crackdown began in D.C. We reported to you earlier. Authorities say they recovered 76 guns so far. So take a look at this video. It shows federal agents seizing at least 1 gun on Minnesota Avenue in Southeast. That community has grappled with gun violence. Neighborhood Commissioner Andrea Davis tells us her community needs more police presence and more gun seizures.
I'm happy that they're getting guns off the street. Anytime we get 1 gun off the street, it's a win for the city because that they have not been able to use that gun in a potential crime.
And Davis plans to hold a crime walk on Monday to raise awareness about her community's public safety needs. It'll begin at 3 p.m. at Boone Elementary on Minnesota Avenue in Southeast. And we want to give you a heads up about a new extended juvenile curfew in DC. This is along the U Street corridor for kids and teens under 18 years old. The zone starts at 8 each night, tonight through Sunday. And a reminder, there is still a citywide curfew through August, every day from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m.
11 to 1 is understandable, but 8 p.m.? That's ridiculous. I guess they want the lights out after certain time, huh, y'all?
With a crowd chanting at federal officers until they eventually leave. Wednesday, Chief Pamela Smith urging protesters not to go too far.
What we don't want is for community members to interfere and get involved in things that is a police-related matter.
Carl Willis, 7 News.
We've been trying to answer your questions on how the government and local agencies involved are working together. Now we have an example. We told you yesterday morning about troops deployed to these 10 metro stations, including Waterfront, at that stop on Monday.
We already saw that.
And that includes our nation's capital, which is a horrible killing field. Right now, it's a rat-infested, graffiti-infested, and we're going to take it away from the mayor.
Any president in history cussing like that.
Beautiful. And I think we should take over Washington, D.C. Either they're going to straighten their act out in terms of government and in terms of protection, or we're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
It is certainly something he keeps coming back to. Look, getting rid of home rule, the congressional act that allows DC to govern itself with the mayor and council, is just that. It's an act of Congress. So when Congress gets back to DC next month, Congress could undo home rule. It would take 60 votes in the Senate and require the help of Democrats because of the filibuster. So that may be unlikely. Not impossible, just unlikely. Trump could also reinstate a control board. That may be a little easier. Congress could do that too, but again, 60 votes. And while it's never been tested, some legal and DC experts think President Trump could reinstate a control board solely by executive order. It was last used in the 90s to get the city's financial house in order. Mayor Bowser points out the city has had 30 straight balanced budgets, all going back now 3 decades. But some DC experts we've spoken to say control boards aren't limited to solely financial reasons. So it would give the president's appointees total control of the city. It would probably be tested in the courts right away, right? We saw that happen last week, but these days it does seem President Trump willing to test his luck.
And is there a reason why he wants to take it that far? Like bring in a control board once again, after what the mayor has pointed out in terms of not just crime statistics, but balancing the budget?
Yeah, look, I think it is a great question as to why he wants total control of the city, because once you have the city, it's all his, right? Sanitation, parks and rec, the streets, the schools, that's a lot to manage. Oh, while you're the most powerful person in the world. So it's unclear exactly why he wants to take it over, but it is clear that this crime issue has taken control of his thinking on DC.
Clearly, the mayor hates the word takeover too, right?
He sure does.
But I mean, isn't Trump saying, like, at the same time that it's working? Like, look, since we brought their troops here, look, the crime is down, so it's working. And
yes.
Try to get it to
so look, really confusing. So since the takeover began, right on August 11th, DC crime statistics show that reported crime in DC is down. Violent crime, property crime, all crime, it's down. It's down compared to the 10 days before. It's down since the same period last year. Objectively, crime is down in DC since this started. And yet he keeps coming back to this anger over crime stats and the mayor saying that this was a safe city before.
Real quickly, the response to the number of residents and people who love the city who are saying, I walk the streets every day, I live here, raise my family here, and I don't see the city that the president's describing.
And I think ultimately it doesn't matter. There's one guy who's making this decision, at least for now, and this afternoon in the Oval Office, he said if he wants to continue this emergency with or without Congress, he will do it.
All right. Ted Oberg, thanks so much for providing us with that context today.
Getting all your daily nutrients is hard work.
The ball now.
You wanted to talk to me something? My ball.
What's up, y'all? Hey, this is Bob's on TV. And then we got the FBI, the ATF, the Secret Service, Donald Trump got like that's like what you, first of all, that's 17 they MPD happy, ATF, FBI, Secret Service. They even got the pretty officers out there. That's just the Secret Service. They don't have no rules right now.
President Trump holding his 7th cabinet meeting of his 2nd term yesterday, where he called for the return of the death penalty in the nation's capital. This as D.C. sees its first homicide in nearly 2 weeks.
Lucas Tomlinson live in D.C. with the details. Hey, Lucas.
Well, good early morning, Ashley and Todd. That shooting took place early Tuesday morning after midnight when a dope male was found unconscious but breathing in Anacostia off Minnesota Avenue in southeast D.C. He later died in the hospital, marking D.C.'s first homicide in nearly 2 weeks, bringing the total to 102 for the year. D.C. has a higher murder rate than Chicago, and during yesterday's marathon cabinet meeting that stretched for more than 3 hours, guys, President Trump says he wants to bring back the death penalty for anyone convicted of murder in the nation's capital.
If somebody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative. And everybody that's heard it agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country, but we have it.
Ready or not, here he comes. With the death penalty for anybody.
And Colby Simpson, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation and former U.S. attorney for violent crime, joins us now. I imagine that in a way you're, one, glad and relieved, but also kind of frustrated because you knew there was a problem and it was difficult to try to get these things done. This is now the results. We have
Assaults are down 19%.
Up the road, another moment of community tension. Well, 15 minutes or so since we filmed that last raid, we've moved a few blocks away and you can see the commotion here. Locals very upset because this vehicle, inside it are some of the ICE officials, the police officers who are doing the detaining. And clearly, for the locals, they do not want them there. The whistles are a new community tactic to alert people that ICE agents are in the area. It's a couple of weeks now since President Trump outlined from the White House his plan for Washington.
Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. In massive enforcement operations targeting known gangs, drug dealers, and criminal networks to get them the hell off the street, maybe get them out of the country, because a lot of them came into our country illegally. They shouldn't have been allowed in. They come from Venezuela. They come from all over the world. We're going to get them the hell out. They won't be here long.
And this is the intentionally visual part of it all. The National Guard at the sites and on the streets. Fighting crime is their mission. The president has seized control of law, order, and security from the city authorities, who he has framed as failing liberals. He's pledged it as a model for other cities. But if this is largely about a display of strength, well, in the neighborhoods of overwhelmingly democratic left-leaning DC, it feels closer to a worrying tipping point.
They don't make me feel safer. They make me feel more police. Like I have to be a little bit more aware, and not in a good way.
24 hours later, and we're back in Mount Pleasant. So we just ran into a local guy here who's had a tip off that there is a raid happening a couple of blocks over here. So we're just going to sit here. You can see the flashing lights down here. The officers are at the entrance to an apartment block. They appear to be from various agencies and the city police too, who are now also under the authority of President Trump. This time, they are heavily armed. How are you feeling now?
I'm sick. This is not this country. It's not what we're about. We're a quiet community, great neighbors. It's unbelievable we've come to this. Unbelievable.
You tell us who you're looking for. What's the job you're up to here? Are these immigration raids? On this occasion, no one is arrested, and they are in the end literally shouted out of the street.
I've lived here for 47 years and I've never seen anything like this. They are occupying the city and our neighborhoods. They are brutalizing people. They are taking people for no reason. We don't want them here. This is a Donald Trump dominance performance.
It is more than a performance, though, because here in Washington, the president can and has taken control of law enforcement from the local authorities to deliver his election pledge. Does this community anger make you feel upset, worried? But the community anger here is visceral. No comment. If this is the plan for Democrat-run cities across the country, well, then the weeks ahead look divisive indeed. Mark Stone, Sky News in Washington.
They must stop giving conservatives this free gold Trump survivor coin.
Starting this month, the 17th
Accountable, strengthening our public health system, and restoring it to its core mission of protecting Americans from communicable diseases, investing in innovation to prevent, detect, and respond to future threats. That's the mission of the CDC, and we're going to make sure that folks that are in positions of leadership there are aligned with that mission.
Briefly on another topic, Alligator Alcatraz. Last week, a judge on an environmental concerns lawsuit said that the administration in 60 days to wind down operations there. State officials that the administration has not been shy in fighting back against what it calls activist judges. But why is it backing down this time?
We're not backing down. We've always said that we are going to continue to fight in the court of law for what's right, because we know that what this administration is doing with respect to all policy, but also immigration policy, is above the books, and we're abiding by our nation's immigration laws. And we think it's despicable that an activist judge has inserted themselves in this migrant detention facility to the point where DHS is now having to relocate these illegal immigrants to other detention facilities around the country. That is an unnecessary burden on the Department of Homeland Security and these agents who should be removing these criminals from our community. That's what the American people elected this president to do. So we've always maintained, Gabe, we're going to comply with court orders, but we're also going to fight back on them on the merits of the law. And DHS is in compliance while we disagree with this decision, and we'll continue to fight it in court.
Let's go ahead. So just following up on the CDC firing. Sure. Are you anticipating other changes there at CDC in addition to that firing? And is the administration going through in a very sort of organized fashion? Is there a task force that's going through high-level appointees to see who is or isn't aligned with the mission? Should we expect more?
Not to my knowledge. I understand there were a few other individuals who resigned after the firing of Ms. Monterez. One of those individuals wrote in his departure statement that he identifies pregnant women as pregnant people. So that's not someone who we want in this administration anyway. So if people are not aligned with the president's vision and the secretary's vision to make our country healthy again, then we will gladly show them the door. Go to the back.
Thank you, Caroline.
Behind you, Andrew. Go ahead.
Thank you, Caroline. The military deployment that President Trump has sent to the Caribbean Sea close to the shores with Venezuela is massive. It's much more that is needed to simply counter narcotics operations. Is President Trump considering launching military strikes to military installments or facilities in Venezuelan soil?
I won't get ahead of the president with respect to any military action or questions about that ever. But what I will tell you is that many Caribbean nations and many nations in the region have applauded the administration's counter-drug operations and efforts. And the president is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. And as I've said from this podium before, the Maduro regime is not the legitimate government of Venezuela. It is a narco-terror cartel. Maduro is not a legitimate president. He is a fugitive head of this drug cartel. He has been indicted in the United States for trafficking drugs into our country, and it is the utmost responsibility of this president and this administration to prevent the illicit flow of drugs into our country and to protect citizens from those deadly poisons. Greg.
Thanks, Carolyn. I have two questions for you. For Democrats, including former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki and Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, attacked prayer and pushed gun control in the aftermath of yesterday's shooting. What's the White House's response to their comments?
Yes, I saw the comments of my predecessor, Ms. Psaki, and frankly, I think they're incredibly insensitive and disrespectful to the tens of millions of Americans of faith across this country who believe in the power of prayer, who believe that prayer works, and who believe that in a time of mourning like this, when beautiful young children were killed while praying in a church, it's utterly disrespectful to deride the power of prayer in this country, and it's disrespectful to the millions of Americans of faith. And I would encourage Ms. Psaki to pray for these families themselves who need it right now more than ever.
Glazed over the fact that the shooter was confused in their gender identity. Does the administration believe that this element needs to be investigated in the shooting?
All of the elements are being investigated in the shooting, absolutely. Which is why part of the reason the FBI director came out and immediately confirmed that facet of the investigation. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Two questions on two separate issues. First of all, the drone and missile strikes that took place overnight in Ukraine. General Keith Kellogg, the president's special envoy, has described these attacks as egregious. Do you agree with that description, and do you view President Putin as an impediment to getting peace between these two countries?
Well, it's not about if I agree, it's about what the president thinks, and I know what the president thinks because I talked to him about this. He was not happy about this news, but he was also not surprised. These are two countries that have been at war for a very long time. Russia launched this attack on Kyiv, and likewise, Ukraine recently dealt a blow to Russia's oil refineries. They have taken out, as a matter of fact, 20% of Russia's oil refinery capacity over the course of their attacks throughout the month of August. So the president is continuing to watch this intently, and this killing, unfortunately, will continue as long as the war continues, which is why the president wants it to end. And that's why he's worked harder than anyone to end this war, which would have never started if he were president. But perhaps both sides of this war are not ready to end it themselves. The president wants it to end, but the leaders of these two countries need it to end and want it to end, must want it to end as well. And I think the president will make some additional statements on this later.
My second question has to do with, I just had one more, if I may. It has to do with the president's intention to remove Lisa Cook as a member of the Federal Reserve Board. He is going or acting upon allegations that have been made by Trump administration official Bill Pulte. These are just allegations. She hasn't been convicted yet of any crime. Is the administration opposed to allowing Ms. Cook to have due process to challenge what has been alleged against her?
I believe she is challenging it. I believe she just filed a lawsuit today, and Mr. Pulte has deferred those allegations over to the Department of Justice to investigate them. What I will say is that you had these mortgage receipts very clearly shown to the president, and he has the cause that he needs to fire this individual. He laid it out in a letter that he provided to her and to the public as well. And so we'll continue to fight this battle. Carrie.
So the president just announced that he wants to have a convention for the midterms next year. The GNC has countered that they too want to have a convention right before the midterms as well. What's the White House's
to protest in front
So
of
y'all hear it.
police headquarters.
That's where it is, you know.
Needs to understand is while they have
In
more legal
America,
basis for doing it, this is their goal.
it's getting wore out, y'all.
This Alexandria,
By the time they
Virginia native
finish
who asked us not
riding down on the hood,
not to use her name,
we
also
won't
joined
want
the
no help.
They're trying to make it less.
It's like, come on now. We're gonna make it safe for the people to ride around without being attacked by the police as well.
As Josiah prepares to begin college at
So
American
we the
University.
people, we don't want to be
From what
attacked
I've seen so far, DC is
by
one of the
black,
safest places.
white,
There
or
is
the
not
blue.
one hint of some sort of crime epidemic.
One of the first stops for the mother and son was the National Mall, where National Guard troops were on patrol, even stopping for photos with tourists.
The National Guard is walking by. So these are the first officers that we do see. I was expecting them to be all over the place, and I guess little by little they are coming through everywhere. To me, it's extremely sad because this is not what this country was founded on.
Although the president declared a crime emergency in Washington earlier this year, the Justice Department reported that violent crime in D.C. had hit a 30-year low. And many residents went about life as usual over the weekend, including Jeff Menzer, who we met at a local farmer's market.
I generally feel safe. I go out at night. Fortunately, I do live in a neighborhood that is relatively safe. It actually has an ongoing police presence because it's on Capitol Hill, but random.
Of
crimes
course,
do happen.
Capitol Hill.
But a major reason cited by the Trump administration for placing the city under federal control was to target juvenile crime in the nation's capital.
Hell, Capitol Hill, they didn't need no
teen carjackers got caught
extra police.
in traffic.
Which soared in
Where all the
Washington
police
during
at
the
in the
pandemic
first place.
as well as around the country. It has since fallen to levels seen in other cities, but then came a highly publicized attack on a Trump administration official by a group of teenagers earlier this month.
I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together in gangs and crews and beat the hell out of you or anyone else.
Shajib Udallah and his wife own this convenience store at Heckinger Mall in Northeast DC, an area long plagued by high crime. Their store was recently robbed and vandalized by dozens of teenagers, and Udallah says DC police needs more help.
It's like more than 30 kids robbing us, and they show up like more than 30 minutes later.
They're grabbing
That's when I
peanuts
don't
and
think so. They are
candy
they might
and
be busy for someone
snacks,
else.
though.
So it's not. I don't think so. It's not.
They're not robbing them for the cash
They say they
register.
welcome the federal takeover, but at least so far, they say they haven't seen an increase in security in this neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
Of course, they're going to be over there. Why? Because it's close to the White House or Capitol or something.
Yeah.
They need to have it more in the D.C. area where they know the crime is.
Not far from their store, Abdullah Salim runs this boxing gym in the Trinidad neighborhood where he mentors local teens.
We need order in our city. If you don't have no order, you ain't got no city.
He hasn't seen an increased presence in his neighborhood either, but he says he supports what the president is doing.
I've been seeing a lot of atrocity, a lot of murders, a lot of innocent children, a lot of innocent babies, and there's nothing done about it.
With no reason.
While much of the effort so far appears to have focused on areas closer to the White House, federal agents have shown up in some high crime areas of the city, but some residents aren't happy about it.
They started pulling up, just instantly hopped out, started wrestling, pulling
which has among the highest crime rates in the city. Last week, he says he and his friends were simply hanging out late into the evening.
They had firearms, they had their weapons, and we didn't have nothing but just ourselves to protect and make sure everybody was good. They just basically harassing us for real.
People getting pulled over left and right. I seen checkpoints everywhere. I felt like I was in a foreign country.
Nathaniel Long co-owns District Alley, a bar in the popular nightlife area of U Street in Northwest DC, where social media video has captured crowds reacting to the new checkpoints. He agrees that crime is an issue in DC, but says the White House won't solve it by force alone.
It's like a takeover instead of like, let's add some aid and let's work with the local authorities and city. I mean, it's like a bull in a china shop. And it doesn't have to be that way.
This year, House Republicans have withheld more than $1 billion of DC's budget, while the White House has also made cuts, including to police, security, and the courts.
They told us they was coming every day. So that's basically what I'm expecting for them to come every day.
Problem is the threat is always going to be there. This administration, this president has a pretty short attention span. They will not release the Epstein files.
We've gone through many dark times before, and I think this is just another dark time. And I do believe that it's up to us as, citizens to stay active and to not give up. or give in.
The emergency authority gives the president power over the city's police force for 30 days, but he's already said he wants that extended.
So what do y'all think? Just send it up to Baltimore?
Here's a question for you. Do you know where the title of your home is? I bet you don't.
We don't. Let's go back to BMO real quick. Baltimore. Welcome to the DC Takeover. Coming to a hood near you real soon. So yeah, it is Saturday night Black Revolutionary Block Party in full effect. Oh yeah. So what hood y'all repping? rep your hood because it sure enough could become part of the takeover. Talk about mind control. La, la, la. Hey, right there on Broadway, down there in Baltimore, or Northern Parkway, Northern Avenue. Hey. And please hit the benevolent fund so we can keep everything coming. And also, we got to step up our game, of course. Time to go ahead and get some equipment top notch to bring y'all top notch broadcast. So hit the benevolent fund $ Black Ophenum #1. But we the only one. Yeah. Black powerful. I figure I'd just take y'all in the hood with me real quick and show you what's up. The before and after effect, so to speak. So we'll see what it looked like a month from now. We'll see what it looked like a year from now. See what the crime statistics, do they fluctuate for 30 days and go back to abnormal? or is just fluctuation going to be the new norm? We will see. That's for sure. But if it stops from somebody from getting abused or unalived out there, then hey, it's all good. Total arrest 1,007. Illegal guns 111. Known gang members 6. Let's go back to the head. Cincinnati, Ohio, y'all. Look like anarchy out there, y'all. In the days type thing, you know. Damn near look surreal. If I didn't know better, I think we was in a real assimilation. But what do I know? So this is what it looks like. Huh. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a beat up Chevrolet, huh? This is how we saw a black revolutionary block party. And we do this for the love of the people. Don't get it twisted. Black power, way of life, y'all. Black powerful. All power to the people. Contributions go to the Benevolent Fund, $ Black Ophinum #1. Nobody gonna bring y'all the funk like us. See, we gonna bring y'all that black revolutionary funk. Oh yeah. Cause like George Clinton say, funk not only moves, but it removes, you dig? Let's go back to the hood, y'all. Oh, we definitely on maybe W Street. What am I talking about? That's right around the corner from Good Hope Road. That's right where you used to go down to the corner there and catch the bus across the bridge. I'm gonna tell you like this: Southeast ain't as bad as BMO. And I don't want to leave y'all out of the loop about this, whatever this is heading towards Earth, whether it be alien mothership, the Anunnaki, or a piece of flying space doo-doo, what it look like. But yeah, no. Let's see what they say about it. Look like space rock to me. I don't know.
Our understanding of how planetary systems form throughout the galaxy. Think about it. Until recently, the only planetary system we could study up close was our own. Everything we know about planet formation, asteroid composition, and cometary behavior came from objects that formed around our sun. Now, with 3 I/ATLAS,
Trump didn't make things
we have
hot
a genuine
enough,
piece of another star system.
I might have to worry about wars, rumors of wars, and aliens from outer space.
Backyard. It's like being able to pick up and examine a rock from Mars without having to send a rover there. An opportunity to study material that formed under completely different conditions than those in our early solar system. What makes this opportunity even more valuable is that 3 I/ATLAS appears to be much larger than our previous interstellar visitors.
3I
Its
Atlas.
size means we can get better observations, more detailed spectra, and potentially even determine its composition with greater accuracy than was possible with Oumuamua or Borisov. If 3 I/ATLAS is indeed a comet, as some early observations suggest, it offers us a chance to compare its ice, dust, and gas content with comets from our own system. Are the same chemicals present? Are they in similar proportions? The answers could tell us if the ingredients for life as we know it are common throughout the galaxy or unique to our corner of space. Another exciting aspect is that we're catching this object relatively early in its journey through our system. Unlike Oumuamua, which was already on its way out when discovered, we'll have months to study 3 I/ATLAS as it approaches the sun, reaches perihelion, and then departs. This gives astronomers time to coordinate observations using different telescopes and instruments around the world and in space. The timing couldn't be better from a technological standpoint either. When Oumuamua passed through in 2017, the James Webb Space Telescope wasn't yet launched. Now, with Webb fully operational, along with other advanced observatories, we have unprecedented capabilities to study this interstellar visitor in detail. Perhaps most importantly, each new interstellar object we discover helps us answer a fundamental question. How common are these visitors? Before Oumuamua, some scientists estimated we might see an interstellar object once every few decades.
That look like
Now,
space rock
with
to
3
me.
confirmed in less than a decade, those estimates are being dramatically revised. It seems likely that interstellar objects pass through our solar system much more frequently than we thought, perhaps multiple times per year, with most going undetected because they're too small or too distant from Earth. If interstellar objects are indeed common, it suggests that planetary systems throughout the galaxy routinely eject material into interstellar space. This, in turn, tells us something about how planetary systems evolve and interact with each other across vast distances and time scales. Unanswered questions. Despite all our advanced technology and brilliant scientists, 3I/ATLAS guards many secrets that leave astronomers scratching their heads. One of the biggest mysteries is its exact nature. Is it a comet, an asteroid, or something we don't have a category for yet? Early observations show hints of cometary activity, a faint fuzzy appearance that suggests gas and dust might be escaping from its surface as it's warmed by the sun, but it doesn't yet have the dramatic tail we associate with comets. Some astronomers think it might be what they call a pristine comet, one that has never passed close to a star before and still has its original ice intact. Then there's the puzzle of its unusual brightness. As Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb pointed out, 3I/ATLAS is reflecting more light than expected. If it has a dark surface like most asteroids, it would need to be enormous, around 12 miles across, to appear this bright. But if its surface is highly reflective, it might be much smaller. Determining its actual size and reflectivity is proving challenging even with our best telescopes. Another mystery is its rotation. Most space objects spin as they travel, but measuring the rotation rate of 3I/ATLAS has been difficult. Some observations suggest it might be tumbling chaotically rather than spinning smoothly on a single axis. If true, this could indicate that it experienced some violent event in its past, perhaps a collision with another object or a close encounter with a massive body that disrupted its rotation. There's also the question of its age and origin. Did it form recently around a nearby star, or has it been wandering the galaxy for billions of years? The surface features and composition might hold clues, but getting that level of detail requires observations we haven't yet been able to make. Perhaps the most tantalizing mystery is what 3I/ATLAS might tell us about the system it came from. Every star system leaves its fingerprint on the objects that form within it, particular ratios of elements, specific minerals, unique isotopic composition. If we can decode these fingerprints, we might learn about a planetary system we can never visit directly. Some astronomers are also watching carefully for any signs of non-gravitational acceleration as 3I/ATLAS travels through our system. Oumuamua showed such acceleration, which sparked considerable debate. If 3I/ATLAS also accelerates in ways that can't be explained by gravity alone, it would suggest that this might be a common feature of interstellar objects, rather than something unique to Oumuamua. These mysteries make 3I/ATLAS more than just another object to catalog. It's a cosmic puzzle box, with each new observation potentially unlocking another clue about its nature and history. And with several months of observation ahead before it leaves our solar system for good, astronomers are hoping to solve at least some of these puzzles before saying goodbye to our interstellar visitor, the alien question. When talking about objects from beyond our solar system, there's always the tantalizing question that captures public imagination. Could it be artificial? Could we be observing something made by intelligent beings from another star system? This question isn't just science fiction speculation. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb, one of the most respected astrophysicists in the world, has been vocal about considering this possibility, especially after the puzzling observations of Oumuamua in 2017. Loeb famously suggested that Oumuamua might have been an alien light sail and strange shape, with 3I/ATLAS Loeb has once again entered the conversation, suggesting that scientists should use the powerful James Webb Space Telescope to look for signs of non-gravitational acceleration, movement that can't be explained by gravity alone. If such force is detected, it could potentially hint at some kind of artificial propulsion. Before getting too excited about alien spacecraft, it's important to understand that non-gravitational acceleration can have natural explanations too. Comets often show this behavior as ice on their surface turns directly into gas when heated by the sun, creating a gentle thrust like a tiny rocket engine. This outgassing can subtly change a comet's trajectory in ways that pure gravitational calculations don't predict. What would make 3I/ATLAS truly suspicious from an artificial standpoint? Several things could raise eyebrows among scientists. If it changes direction in ways that defy physics, if it emits radio signals or shows other signs of technology, or if its composition includes elements or isotopes in combinations that can't form naturally, these would all be red flags that something unusual is going on. Another thing astronomers are watching for is whether 3I/ATLAS maintains a constant brightness or shows regular patterns in its light reflection. Natural objects tend to be irregular in shape, creating variable brightness as they rotate. A more consistent brightness could suggest a more regular, potentially artificial shape. Considering artificial origins is scientifically valid, the history of astronomy teaches us that natural explanations usually win out. When pulsars were first discovered in the 1960s, their incredibly regular radio pulses led some scientists to briefly consider them as potential alien beacons. We now know they're rapidly rotating neutron stars, exotic but entirely natural objects. Still, the possibility, however remote, that we might be observing technology from another civilization is part of what makes these interstellar objects so captivating to both scientists and the public. It forces us to consider the ultimate question: are we alone in the universe? Even if 3I/ATLAS turns out to be a perfectly natural comet or asteroid, the very act of investigating all possibilities, including artificial origins, advances our scientific understanding. As Carl Sagan famously noted, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. While most astronomers consider it highly unlikely that 3I/ATLAS is artificial, they'll certainly be looking for any extraordinary evidence that might suggest otherwise as it makes its journey through our solar system. Observing the visitor. How exactly do you study a dark object potentially smaller than a city, moving at 152,000 miles per hour, billions of miles away? It takes some serious technological firepower, and fortunately, we have more of that now than ever before. Right now, astronomers around the world are pointing every available telescope at 3I/ATLAS, creating a global effort to understand this visitor before it leaves our neighborhood forever. Ground-based observatories from Hawaii to Chile to South Africa are tracking its movement, measuring its brightness, and analyzing the faint light it reflects for clues about its composition. But the real game changers are our space-based observatories. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its massive 21.3-foot mirror and incredible infrared sensitivity, is perfectly suited. Like 3I/ATLAS, Webb can detect heat signatures and identify specific chemicals and minerals on the object's surface. Astronomers have already secured valuable observation time on Webb to study this interstellar visitor in detail. Hubble, despite being older technology, still provides invaluable data too. Its ultraviolet capabilities complement Webb's infrared strengths, giving astronomers a more complete picture across different wavelengths of light. Together, these space telescopes can reveal details about 3I/ATLAS that would be impossible to see from Earth's surface. Beyond just looking at it, astronomers are also listening. Radio telescopes, like the Very Large Array in New Mexico and the Allen Telescope Array in California, are monitoring for any unusual radio emissions. While no one seriously expects to pick up alien broadcasts, these observations can help determine if the object is giving off any radio waves as it interacts with the solar wind, the stream of particles constantly flowing from the sun. As 3I/ATLAS gets closer to the sun, we'll see it more clearly. Its brightness will increase, and if it is indeed a comet, we might see a more pronounced tail develop. This would give scientists even more material to study, as the tail contains particles and gases released from the object itself. Dawn of a new era. The discovery of 3I/ATLAS marks what many astronomers believe is the beginning of a new era in our understanding of interstellar objects. For all of human history, until 2017, we had never confirmed a single visitor from beyond our solar system. Now we've found 3 in less than a decade. This isn't just coincidence. It's the result of technological advancement. Our ability to detect these cosmic travelers has improved dramatically in recent years. Automated sky surveys, more powerful telescopes, and sophisticated software that can identify unusual movement patterns have all contributed to this revolution. What we're seeing now isn't necessarily a sudden increase in interstellar visitors. Rather, we're finally developing the eyes to see what was always there. The Vera Rubin Observatory, when it begins operations, will take this capability to an entirely new level. Its enormous camera will photograph the entire visible sky every few nights, creating a movie of the cosmos that will make it much easier to spot moving objects. Astronomers predict it might discover several interstellar objects every year, perhaps dozens. This growing catalogue of interstellar visitors will allow scientists to answer questions they could only guess at before. Are most interstellar objects comets, asteroids, or something else entirely? Do they typically come from the inner or outer regions of their home systems? How often are planetary systems ejecting material into interstellar space? The answers will reshape our understanding of how planetary systems form and evolve. There's also growing interest in the possibility of sending a spacecraft to intercept an interstellar object. While 3I/ATLAS was discovered too late for us to launch such a mission, several space agencies and private companies are developing concepts for rapid response spacecraft that could be launched on short notice if another interstellar object is detected early enough. Beyond the pure science, these discoveries are changing how we think about our place in the cosmos. Each interstellar object is a physical connection to another star system, tangible evidence that the space between stars isn't empty, but is crisscrossed by material ejected from other worlds. In a very real sense, our solar system isn't isolated, but is part of a larger galactic ecosystem where material from one star system can eventually become part of another. Thanks for watching another episode. While you are still here, make sure to...
Well, y'all heard it right here. The Black Open Lion TV.
Of how planetary systems form throughout the galaxy. Think about it. Until
Trump's DC takeover and AI was this that intergalactic whatever that is, Atlas heading this way. And let's see if I can play a little bit of this on the way out. Play.
Made $500,000 off the scams and flew it back out. We was in the lakes trying to stay until I max out. Made $100,000, tell that bitch to keep her ass out. Bought 100 guns, now my nigga pass her ass out. Kwame took the city while the killers took the back route. Ask about me, killers kill about me. Made $1 million plus 3, and I did it in the streets. SEL niggas, I can smell niggas. They stink like dead bodies. I hit them like John Gotti. Illuminati. Yeah. We Illuminati. We Illuminati. Yeah. spoken a minute. More fool than you, or voice of a demon. God talk to you. We ain't spoken a minute, but when we speak, is it you or voice of a demon? I close my eyes, screaming, souls burning alive. Tell me what is the meaning? It's like I'm living or die. The prison stuck in my mind, and it playing with wine. Remind me all the time what a blind can see. But never mind, the world gon' see. Look around, nobody found. I'm running from me. I'm running from me. I'm running from me. It's hard to figure out the real from the fake. Need the food and the plate, but I move with a snake and he creeping in the dark. Gotta listen to your heart. We was all born smart, but we drifted apart. Like Moses did the Red Sea, the Dead Sea, everything vividly. I'm running from me.
I went to St. Louis, Missouri the other day. They had Black Panthers from all over the country. No one knew about it at all. They had machine guns, recoilless rifles, grease guns, Lugers, 25 of them, all armed. And the chief policeman here at the airport when I arrived, they were there, right there at the steps. He said he was violating the law. Yeah, we're violating the law. He said, we're tired of our white and black leaders, Jackie and Martin and Bobby being killed. We're going to protect this man right here. They didn't arrest one of them. Because they said if you arrest one, then someone's going to die. Because we are ready to kill. Like all means, black dignity. Just as surely as you're proud to be white, we're proud to be black. Black is beautiful, baby. It's pretty. I always say to my brothers, I say, they don't worry about white chicks. We got everything from chalk to charcoal in our home race. And that's it. Black is beautiful. Black power means dignity. Means we're gonna walk side by side with you, or through you. We're gonna be with dignity and integrity. We don't want any more than you have, and we're not gonna accept any less than you have. That's not enough.
Progress is being made. If you take a knife that might take 9 inches and pull it out 6 inches, there's no progress. You pull it all the way out, that's not progress. The progress is healing the wound that's below me. And they haven't even begun to pull the knife out, much less trying to heal the wound. They won't even admit the knife is there.